Welcome to the Tea Drop, where the brew is strong and there's lots to talk about. Today, you'll see this. Nearly 1 million people watch this video of craftsmen in Pakistan building championship belts from scratch. Leather, metal, chemicals, hammers, the whole thing. Now, let me be clear up front. These are not the licensed WWE or even AEW belts you see on their websites, on TV, and so forth. These are replicas. These are the ones you find on Etsy, maybe even Temu, or any discount sites for title belts. But here's why this is important. If you cosplay, if you do fan events, if you just want the feel of holding a belt without bringing out the licensed one and risking damage to it, these are great alternates. Or maybe you're just not ready to commit to the high cost of a licensed belt yet, which I get. This could be your first step as well. These are championship belt holding without the championship belt price. What's actually happening in this process for some places that do replica belts? And that's what we're going to do today. So strap in and let's check out this video. So let's build this. Step one, they're starting with a physical template and not a digital at all, or even using a CNC machine. They're using a physical pattern laid out on this big black leather piece that they have, and they're tracing it by hand. And I guess their feet as well. And they eventually are just tracing, as you can see, all these patterns on one big leather piece. They're trying to get as many patterns as they can. And then eventually, they're going to start cutting it. They're cutting the multiple pieces of leather. Now, this is how the real belts feel substantial on your shoulder, not the toy replicas you buy for $40 on Target. A few things can be true when it comes to this. This is some type of work happening in what looks like raw industrial workshop, not a polished factory floor that you probably will get from AEW website manufacturers. This is no brand name equipment, just skill. Here's the next step, and this is where they start making it look like something is happening on the leather. They take these leather pieces and then they start running them through what looks like a hydraulic press. And you see as they stamp it, they press it real hard. I think they go a few times, they press it. That metal piece you see there is basically a pattern piece. And what they do, they press that pattern metal into the leather as hard as it can. And through the power of hydraulics, it gets pressed down pretty firmly. So as soon as they're ready, there you see, through the hydraulic press and that pattern, they are able to stamp what looks like a type of leather pattern. The decorative lines, the borders, pattern work, that's all pressed in when it comes to these belts. They're not painted on, not stickered on, pressed into the material itself. But let me ask you something. When you see a championship belt on TV, do you ever think about how many steps it takes just to get the strap right? Because we're 2 steps in and we haven't even touched the metal yet. As you can see, this is all just the belt pattern itself, the leather pattern itself. After embossing, a worker manually now takes these patterns and starts trimming and refines, what I'm assuming to the best of their abilities, refines every edge with what looks like a small knife, but for this type of pattern, I guess we should use a smaller one to make the seam smooth. But they are just going to trim it, every detail. They did broad cuts just to get the pieces out, but this is now their precise moves. And as you can see, these are pieces already pressed with the metal plate already. So they already have it pressed. Now it's just the finishing touches. Once they finish cutting with the small knife, they now introduce a hammer to smooth the seams out and create even more patterns with the hammer. So you see, they take the edge, they're trying to clean it up to give it that more belt feel, I guess. You can see them going at every single edge as they can. And they're pretty precise about hitting it right at the edge. It's a great precision here. One slip up of this, though, I would say the belt is probably ruined. This is the part that separates probably the craftsmanship from a machine. A machine does it perfect, though, every time, but it does it the same way. this person is reading the leather, adjusting to the situation, and working it out. So when it comes to this, there's a reason these belts have weight and a character. It's because human hands shape them every inch, and they're not that manufactured for the most part. So the next phase that they go through is the metal plate and preparations for the chemical etching, which is the pieces that they're going to eventually put on the leather itself. Now, all right? So now we get into the metal. The plates, the gold center plates, the side plates, all of it. These go through a multi-step process, apparently. They start sanding it. They wash it first. They're going through a chemical treatment, I guess, of some sort. And you can see that. They did some sanding to it, too. They sanded it first also, and they did some things to prep the surface. Then you watch this. They submerge the plates in a chemical solution. Look at that. They all were in that submerged. Now, this is to help them be able to etch the designs into the metal. So as you can see, they're working on a WWF World or a WW. It's actually a WWE. No, it's an old school. Look at that. Old school WWF World Tag Team Wrestling Championship. I'm saying WWF because it has the old WWF logo. It doesn't have the newer one. So they're trying to go even old school. So through this, they're putting all these patterns onto the metal after they submerged it. Okay. Guess they're trying to line it up in a certain way. Still working it out. And those pieces right there, these are the edge pieces for the belt strap. And there you go. They put the pattern in. Are they taping it down? It looks like this is a long process, by the way, setting it up a certain way. Look at that. And they put it in a bag. Okay. And they tighten it up. I guess they're trying to transfer the pattern somehow on these. This is an interesting process. It'll be nice to know what exactly they're doing. Like, this video only gives me audio. It's no one explaining. And look at this. Peep this out. This worker is using his smartphone as a timer. And it looks like, how long they'll go? Looks like they're going beyond 50 seconds in the solution. That's it. It looks like they do it about a minute. They leave it in the solution, and where are we at? It's weird because they removed it and I don't see anything on it. So I guess we'll find out whether the etching is set up or it's ruined. So what are they doing now? I mean, look, where in the world does this not require incredible experience? Because I don't think you can teach this with a manual, because me following this is pretty crazy. I'm a little lost halfway through because I'm not even understanding how that paper transfer worked, but this is probably years worth of experience. Let's continue with this. So they're smearing, I'm assuming, the metal, rolling it. Okay. What does that do though? What are we smearing? Is this the black inside the metal itself? Interesting. Wow. And they're doing the same thing to this one. All right. Look at that. So there you go. They painted that with some type of substance. I guess this is another chemical treatment, right? Now they're dipping the metal in the solution with the black. Whoa, no way. So that solution removes the excess metal. Yo, this is a crazy chemical process. Look at that. That is crazy. Yo, how precise are they going to be for the cutting portion? So they were able to transfer the pattern onto the metal with some type of treatment that I'm not clear on. If you guys know in the comments what this is, please let me know, because this is interesting. They keep washing it off. All right, let's move on. So then they put the plates after cleaning it into the dirt, some type of dirt, rubbing it. Okay, what does that do? Just makes it brownish. They're putting more in it. Okay, more brownish. And now they're scrubbing it. Interesting. It looks like oxidated metal now because it's the variation of brown. All right, they're doing this all in a weird location, by the way. Okay, now we got the craftsman, right? This is cool. Oh, I guess this is where it gets really interesting. It looks like they're about to heat the metal plates on what looks like a portable gas stove, like the one you use for camping. Let's see what they do. I know what this is. They're heating the plates to prep them for the enamel painting that you saw the guy prepping for before. So they're heating up the metal right now. Wow. Somehow it turned black again, or dark brown. Okay, and keep heating it up. Okay, all right, it's heated up. Right now they have the painter painting in little details. Right, they heated it up. So they heated it up and they got the plate ready. They're using brushes and like what looks like syringes to paint some things. All right, that's like a tiny ass brush. Very simple painting. Okay, what was the point of doing those type of paint? Looks like they're polishing. There we go. Yeah, they're polishing the plates. Interesting polishing technique. What's in that can? Oh boy, what's in there? Is that just a big paint bucket? What I'm assuming that's some type of paint. What a weird way to prep for paint. Okay, look like charcoal pieces. And that's a yellow? Are these pieces of color? They're mixing it with water. I don't know what comes out of this. All right. All right. So I guess they're using this paint to fill in the design grooves of some sort. Because that's the only reason you would do that, right? It's just filling in the grooves right now. Now he's washing his hand on top of that. All right. This is a crazy ass process. Look at that. The belts, now they're rinsing it off. Okay. This, by the way, I got to say, this is some serious human level of production line work. I mean, it's nothing like fine art happening in this workshop, but these conditions look rough, but the results are still coming out professional, even though this whole between the setting and how they're working, it looks like some weird ass location, but they know their crap right now, what they're doing. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, this all looks labor. This is labor intensive, I got to say. All right. So now they're pressing this flat again. Here we go. Now that they have all the plates ready, we're going to do some assembly type of cutting. This is where the payoff comes in. So let's see the level of cutting these guys do. Man, look at that. Look at that steady hand cutting that plate. Oh, no. Whoa, that is really close to your finger, man. Careful with that. I used to work in a wood shop and that's close as hell, man. Yo, these things, this cutter, by the way, is basically a belt. Like, I think it's a big belt. So it could snap like a tape and man, you better watch out when it snaps. All right, now he's cleaning up the cuts. Trying to make sure it's very nicely precise. Okay, now cutting the small little pieces now. What? Man, look at that hand precision, man. Only the best. Okay, that's one plate. Got to trim the plate. Trim it up. Okay, there you go. Go around. Oh, he's going to trim it later. He has to. Look at that. He's just trying to get it in. There you go. It's so close to his finger, man. That is dangerously close to his finger. Damn. Here we go again. Right through the middle. Okay. So the side plates are almost done. Got two more. Damn, this guy is crazy quick. All right. So there you go. Main centerpiece and the 4 side plates for this. And maybe a little end piece. All right. So what's next? Finishing. I think these are they're heating up the metal now. These are the plates he cut, but now what's he doing? Oh, he's adding the rivet in. Here we go. Time for the riveting. This is all crazy. They added the end pieces these are basically the rivets on the plate. He's, soldering it together. That way they punch the holes through the leather, it just slips through. Look at this. Crazy. Dude, he's not even precise at this point. He's like, whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, can you at least line these guys up? These aren't even lined up. He's just throwing them together. Like, this is some quick shit. I don't know, man. Like, this is where you get what you pay for situation. Like, this should be, like, lined up so it looks all even. Man, I get it. Like, it's a production line. You gotta be quick. See, this one's crooked right here, too. That one's crooked. Come on. All right. So now he has to pick it up with it. Yeah, because it's heated up. I get it. Is he going to do the main plate? Yeah. Okay, so it looks like they're going to do 6 rivets. Yeah. 2 in the side, 2 in the middle. It's some quick riveting, by the way. Ooh, I see the bottom up. They got to sand it off a little bit. Okay. Oh, they're taking out the black? I'm so confused right now. So I guess, wait. Oh, so that was just temporary. That was etching this whole time, the pattern? Whoa. So they put the rivets one at a time, right? And when they did the last plate, this is crazy, man. So there you go. It's already etched in. I don't understand how this happened. If anyone in the comments can explain to me this whole chemical process, this is crazy work right now. Like what was the point of the black? It looked like that guy got hit in the leg or something. I don't know what's going on there. Cleaning up that. Okay, very clean. Gotcha. All right, so there you go. Oh, now it's getting shined up. Okay, this look nice. Look at that. Can't complain. Except those rivets in the back, man. I have an issue with those. But I get it. Once you put it through the belt, no one's gonna see them being crooked. I get it, but I will now. Wow, this is no way. This guy is about to hand paint every little piece. This is crazy. Go ahead, paint every piece of the belt. Look at this. Wow. I guess he's painting with excess, and then he's gonna wipe. He'll wipe the excess before it dries. This process I understand. This makes sense, man. Look at this. Boom, boom, right through the letters and everything. Man, it's a nice color. Nice little blue. Okay. He's almost done with all the water for the globe, for the world title. Now he's painting the black. Oh, that's hard with the scratchy WF logo. How can you get that right, man? Now he's painting behind the lettering, the banner piece where it says Tag Team Champions. Okay, so that's one belt. Did they not wipe it off? Am I wrong about that? Oh man. Okay, that's an easy paint. Pretty much the whole thing. Yeah. Why he needs his phone? Damn. Now he's using a syringe. Yo, this guy is using a syringe to paint for the D. Look how precise he's going. He doesn't want the red and blue mitts. Smart. This is smart. Wow. Okay. Now you got the bottom of the WWF logo on both of the pieces. Okay. I see you, man. Is he gonna okay. All right. Now he's taking the excess. There you go. See, I told you that's what's gonna happen. Look at that. Boom. Boom. There you go. Now he's gonna do it for the globe to take the excess. First the WWF logo. Okay, gotcha. Now he's gonna do it for the globe, right? Yeah, see? Oh, he's doing a little lighter touch for the globe. Gotcha. But that can't be it. I think they have to fill in all those lines, right? Are you gonna use the syringe? No. He's using the white syringe for the WWF logo. Gotcha. Okay. Look at that. This is crazy. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. This is it, right? This is the final step, right? They're gonna start riveting it, like actually before I was saying riveting, it's actually putting one side of the rivet. Now they're gonna fully rivet it through onto the leather strap, and it looks like he's doing this by hand, but it looks like he's gonna use a mallet and punch it. Let's take a look, man. All right, so he's lining up okay, he just punches that thing. There he goes, punching it through. And now he's hitting the holes. So he basically pressed with the rivets that he soldered onto the metal plate. He presses it down, creates an imprint, and now he's punching the holes with his tool. Damn, okay. There you go. All the holes are punched. No need for a hole puncher, right? He's doing this while sitting down, man. This is crazy. All right. He's now manually flattening all these end pieces by hand. He's squishing it so it stays pressed. This is all manual riveting type of process. Every plate, every rivet, he's doing it with tools and strucking it by hand. No automation here, man. No pressing with a machine or anything. Damn. This is all by hand. No wonder if you order some of these belts online, it takes them almost over a month to do. And it's probably because they have to deal with this whole process. And obviously I'm not the only one ordering this or anyone ordering these. There you go. And like I said, I use these belts for cosplaying because I have like a real WWE. I have a WWE license belt, and I don't want to take those to these conventions or anything I'm doing for a cosplay because I don't want them to get damaged. You know, those are very expensive belts. But these, yeah, I mean, they're getting paid for the process, but is it compared to a license belt? It's like maybe half or a third of the price depending which belt you're going for. Look at that. Look at that right there. You see that? Wait, look at that belt. Painted and everything. Wow. I guess they don't infill everything, but all right. Every step we watch is now leading to this moment. Let's take a look at the final touches. It looks like they're getting ready. Are they going to glue the back piece of the leather? Yep. Here's the back piece of the leather. Man, they're doing this by hand too? No way they're doing this by hand. Damn. Wow. Look at that. And I guess they're manually cutting Yep, they're manually cutting it. Man, that's the tool of the trade right there. And knife, man. And now we're going to have a cut edge like that. Look at that. Woof. Woof. Look at that. Are they going to punch the edges on the other side too, just so it looks legit? Probably will. They probably will. Let's see. Okay, they're painting the edges so no one sees the cut edge. Smart. It's getting cleaned up right now as we speak. Getting that final polish. There's the world heavyweight belt down there in that corner, man. There's Roman Reigns' belt right there. Now they're punching the holes for yep, there you go. More rivets. This is the other side of this is the other side for the clapping between the two belts. Okay, now they're one hit. That's all it takes, I guess. Just one hit. Not enough time to do 2 hits. One big hit is all you need to make these belts. Crazy. So now everything underneath is leather and metal, chemicals, paint, rivets, and human labor, from a slab of leather to a championship belt. This is pretty much their whole process to make this belt. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Now it's clip and unclip. Acknowledge him. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, I'm not a fan of this paintwork here. It still looks a little bit off, but okay, sure. I mean, oh, they're cleaning it up right here. Final polish. Polishing it up. This is crazy. Look at that. They're shining it up pretty well, and the color works with it too, but I don't know. I guess this is a sealer of some sort, because why else would you do that? That was the US belt they just did. Here's the tag team belt. All right. I guess this is to seal and hold all the colors in place. So there you go. That is the title right there. Done in Pakistan, man. Wow. Crazy. So interesting. But when it comes to this, the next time now that you've seen the process of how potentially a Etsy belt or Temu championship belt that you see online, now the next time you see one of these belts on their websites for a fraction of the cost of what a licensed one costs, now you know what went into it. Not by a high-tech factory process, a workshop by hand, or it was with a gas stove, a smartphone timer for a certain process, a hammer, a cut, a blade, and everything. And look, like I said, if you cosplay, if you do fan events, if you want that championship moment without bringing out the licensed belt and risking it getting scratched or even damaged, this is a great alternate. It's a crazy process that I'm sure some people are gonna question a lot, but for cosplayers, for first step belt buyers, this might be your process before you commit to a heavy license cost. You can hold the belt, you can feel the weight, live that moment when you cosplay without the high cost commitment. Now, if you're a parent and you can't afford this for your kids, I mean, this might be a great alternate. Maybe the kid won't notice. When they do, then it's time to purchase a licensed belt. Now, a few things about this. The craftsmanship is real, as you can see, even if the licensing isn't. And I guess that's okay until WWE finds out about this and probably shuts them down if they can. But anyway, thank you for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments about this video. Would you rock a replica belt or cosplay from Pakistan? If you do, let us know. Or if you've seen other process of belt making, let me know as well. Maybe we'll watch it in a future video. And as always, if the tea hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.